Gonna do that in there a minute, see what these 66 are. When I went down, when I first trip.
But that's just one of those things, it's just get used to hanging on to it. Because obviously I'm not used to it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's such a there's a mod for it, something like a mod. Yeah, there's a stickness.
roll down there. Wait. We just make room so anyone wants to come through. But basically, this is it's not our main stores unit, but this is our depot store. So we have central stores over there, which is called C-Top, which I'll show you as you go past later on. We order stuff in here and we try and keep a certain selection of parts in here, just in case a quick flowing parts. So these all get stored in here. Normally there's a bit more in here, but obviously we clean it out just to have a look at all different parts that get kept in here. When they're ordered, they are delivered here. We then deliver them out to the job for them to fit. So our machine here is all consumables. Everyone's got a log on here. If they want things, there's tooling in there. There's consumables such as gloves, hats, glasses, which is mandatory here normally when we're opening up. Hats and glasses at all times. They can be it's all throughout that machine there. Got more than 25 now. What's happening here?
3, 2, 4, 10, 12, 14, 16, 20, 4.
We seem to have got a lot more than 25, but anyway. Right, behind you is one of our locos, 66179. So this was, we have recently brought back, or we are bringing back 12 locomotives from our sister company, DB Cargo France, used to be called Euro Cargo Rail. We leased them out to them for years. Now we're having 12 of them back. This is one of them. Part of my normal role, and Jim, who's the other person doing the other tour, we're heading the project to convert them back into UK spec. The ones that have come are run down quite heavily engine-wise. They were non-runners, as well as the reversion for all the signalling system, which is completely different. Obviously, it's all the engine work to get them back up and running again. New bogies and all UK mods get all spec back up, plus the B exam. We are halfway through this one. We started, the idea was, at the minute there's 6632 as well, so that's having its mods done, and this was supposed to have its engine work done. We're a bit short on some of the parts of the engine work, so we started, as you can see, the cabs coming out, started doing some of the mod on this a bit earlier. We've got 3 of them back in service, which is already this year, which is 6610, 28 and 190. This one and 32 will be the next ones to be back in service.
How long does it take?
So the first one, because the reversion, we've never done it after getting all the engineering documents drawn up. The first one took, just for the reversion alone, was around 900 hours. The next one was around 750, and then the third one was 680, so it's obviously coming down each time. That's just for the reversion. With the engine work, and again, some of the engines are worse damaged than others, we were around 1500 hours to do it, labour hours. Any other questions?
They not making a 66230.
Say again, sorry.
You've got 66230 on site somewhere.
We have, yeah.
Had a fire.
It has.
Is that going to be back in service?
There are discussions going on about it. It's whether it's going to be the cost benefit is going to do it as of yet. We've got other locomotives that are going to cost a lot less to get back into service.
Is that here somewhere?
It is.
Can we see it?
We'll see if we can see it on the tour that we give you.
Were they not maintaining the tours France then? Were they not maintaining the tour by ECR?
They were maintained, yeah. So they followed our maintenance plan, our exam plan. So they did do some. We've struggled to get all the information of what they have and haven't done. They have got it through in the end. So they were maintained, and then they'd have something catastrophic gone. Well, I say catastrophic, big engine failures or something that's taken them out of service, and then they've just sort of sat a little bit. But what they haven't been done is they haven't had any of the UK modifications done, is what we've been putting in. So there's quite a lot of work since they've been out there over the years they've been out there to modify them back up to spec of what we use.
Will they work on that?
Pardon?
The 12?
Well, actually there's 11 coming back now. Sorry, there was 12 originally, 2 are now looking like they're going to Poland. So as part of those 2 going to Poland, we will be bringing 2 of ours back there in cold store here to replace them. There is no more discussions as of yet of whether bringing any more in. So we've got to get 8 in this year of these ones done. So obviously we've done 3. The next 2 are in the process. The rest we've got to get 8 to our budget list. So got to do that. Anyone else? Happy questions? The one behind us, I think somebody was asking me about this Loco. 6005. It had a gear train damage. So part of the gearing behind there was damaged behind the turbo. So the alternator's been off, all new gearing put in, realigned, all the engine timing set. Alternator's been back in now and it's on the rebuild process at the minute. It's one of the worst things we can get, the gear train damage. So as you can see, it's a big job to get all that out. The alternator's come out, it has to be moved around into the cathedral, all the turbo, everything else has to be removed. The aux roof, alternator out, then we can start on the gear train, repair that, back into the cathedral, alternator back in, go back up again. I couldn't tell you to be honest with you because it's all labour intensive, the majority. Not all, obviously. There's cost into it, but the majority of the cost is labour. You know, sometimes you get it done quicker. Sometimes we go right, especially aligning the alternator. More experienced staff sometimes, new people doing it, we're trying to learn it. It can take a lot longer, so it varies. And it depends on what we put back in, whether the alternator was safe to go back in, whether there was what other damage is caused from that.
What needs replacing, something going wrong so quickly.
And what damage is caused by that failure as well. Sometimes it can get a lot worse with the 60s when the crankshafts are damaged, it can damage a lot more stuff.
Do you have any particular failures that happen regularly?
Yeah, we go through different spats. So our biggest failure rate at the minute is the power packs. So obviously these are all out. There's a power pack on show out there, but that is power packs, and the latest one is radiators are worse.
Is it the same thing on the power packs every time?
Coolant leaks usually.
Is there, do you put, does somebody put something in place to get that?
We have a reliability team, and at the moment they are in trials with new power packs through our OEM with different heads on them. Not always, but majority of the time it's the head that's cracking. So we've put new heads on them, and there are certain locos fitted with them with these trial power pack locos. So once that trial is complete, if it's successful, we will change the fleet to power packs. The other big repair job at the minute is the radiators are failing. They're just old now, and we keep changing them. The overhaul procedure of the radiators, they're just getting that old. We're starting to buy all new in now.
How do you decide when a loco is due for overhaul? Is it miles or?
66s are not due overhaul. We have balance B exams on 66s. So in theory, as the balance B goes, through you have B1, B2, and so we're around the B25, some of the lower 21s. But all components get changed out throughout, so you do one component one time, another component another, and essentially it gets overhauled. As the 60s are different. 60s are done on engine hours and bogie mileage. So we are just starting up our program of overhauling the 60s again. 60, 63 will be the first one to get done, which is in the process. It's sat out. As you drive out, you'll see it. It's got brand new bogies under it, or overhaul bogies, and we are building the power unit for it now.
What is the mileage on that before they?
So mileage on a 60, on the bogies, 500,000 miles, and engine hours it's worked on engine hours is 20,000 engine hours. It just so happens that the majority of them coincide in exactly the same with the bogies and things, so we're doing a full overhaul on them. Okay. So how the process works, can everyone hear or happy? As the process works, there's a big examination, turns up at Toton. First job, comes in, goes on the arrivals line, goes on the fuel line, gets fueled. the gentleman who's working out there looks what it's here for, raises all the paperwork, anything that's on our reporting system that's had in the past. Also does some special checks out on the fuel line, start of the B exam. The B exam then comes and it will come out the back of one road. Wheel lathe first. Everyone goes on the wheel lathe, gets its wheels checked, then into one road, gets cleaned, brought down, does a general electrical exam. Out the back of one road is the brake and running checks. Then it will come round into one of these bays for all its engine work. And then hopefully, it doesn't need to, but sometimes quite often, it will go onto the lifting bay area for new wheel sets, traction motors, any bogey work. So that's our process of how we work here at the depot. Obviously, there's quite a lot of those coming through at the minute, as you can see. Okay, that's all this. We essentially do everything here, everything, but except whether it's viably, economical, financially, because if we do need more locomotives in, it will be at one cost, and we pick the one that's less condition and less cost to it. But yeah, there was talk about bringing everyone back in this year, so, but again, it's do we require that? At the minute we show we do. Our demand is quite high, so it's all about cost.
I think on a 66, which is terminal failure, or looking at going to be 40.
No, so we've got crankshaft damage on a few of the 66s, which we've never done before. However, we've got the blokes who know how to do it, so we're quite happy to do it. It's having the resources to maintain our own fleet at the minute, where we're running it this week. It's just come out 113 66s were required for this week. So having the resource to maintain that fleet, that's just what was required working. We've got a higher fleet live, which we need 113 of them out working this week, 13 66s. The resources to maintain them and to do, obviously we're doing the projects of that, we're doing the 60 projects, to bring another one in as well, you're bringing more and more people in. The power plant I was talking about was the gentleman who asked me about one of the major failures. These are one of the big things we're finding failing on that bit. I'm going to changing these. Obviously 12 of these on each 66. They tend to be cracking from all sorts, and finding colour leaks from down, so and they get worse and worse. Sometimes they're that bad that the hydraulic locks the engine, so you try and start them up. When it's running, you won't really notice, and then as it cools down, water fills up inside, and as it tries to start up, just hydraulically locks, will not start. Sometimes, the majority of the time, you know when that's happening, so it'll blow the start fuse, and it's a huge start fuse on one of those. When it blows them off, something seriously wrong. Wagons here, and the back space, although it's in a minute, this is where we build our 60 power units. So a lot of the parts from the one we stripped down are here. The one stood behind that block, but there's nothing there, but that's where the block usually sits, and we build it up on there. In the cathedral at the minute, because we just took the crank out of it, the damaged crank. That was out of 60007. So, yes, nothing to do with the crank damage, but yeah, it did have a fire. So, we built, as I say, 63 is the first one that's going to get overhauled. We started the bogies, we actually built a power unit for it. Then 60007 failed. We decided to put the power unit into that because the crank was damaged on it. So, we took the old power unit out of it, and I was stripping that down for 63. So this is what we call our lifting bay area. This is where we do obviously lift the loco. You can see 6074 is up in the air at the minute. It's having new wheel sets fitted. They're so low. We also have got a big program of 4th bogey overhauls at the minute. So when the wheel sets on a 66, it's not done on mileage, it's done on wheel life. So when the wheels scrap, it's then the next bogey change. So we start off obviously first bogey overhaul, second bogey overhaul, third bogey overhaul, fourth. These ones here are fourth, so it's the major one. So when it gets to its 5th set of wheels, or fourths, what they do here, the whole bogie gets stripped down completely, and even the frames, just leave them to the frames. The frames get sent off to our depot at Stoke. They get NDT tested, shot blasted down, and then repainted. And then they come back here, we build them all back up again with all brand new stuff on it. So for example, a third bogie overall is literally just wheel sets and a few little components. The rest is all on condition, whereas a fourth is the major one, which is real struggling. So one of your locos here, 66175, that's waiting for fourths. So yeah, it's a major thing. So we have got a team working in the cathedral all year round, which their target is to do 24 fourths a year. That's 2 a month, so 2 weeks is doable, provided we get the material. And sometimes we struggle a bit on material. We're a bit behind schedule at the minute because we're struggling for parts.
Is that because of COVID, or is that just general supply and
General supply of parts, yeah. They'll blame COVID, but it's just everything's blamed on COVID at the minute. 6074 that's up in the air at the minute. That was our first loco to have the electronic governor fitted. One of our colleagues downstairs in engineering department, Neil Jackson, he designed this electronic governor with the company that made it, and it was trialled on that loco for 20 months, definitely over 18 months. It had one glitch and it's been absolutely brilliant since then. We then brought it into production and put it on quite a lot of our 60s, and we seem to having lots of problems with them at the minute, but it was brilliant on there, and it still is very good. It's a lot better than the old governor. The Woodward governors, they were failing left, right and centre, and the amount of effort and engineering that's gone into it to try and improve it over 20, 30 years, and they're still no good. So we're planning on changing the whole fleet out with the electronic governors. Happy?
Yeah.
Good night. Sorry, when we go round, you'll see 230 in a minute. I cannot allow a photograph of the damaged part of 66230 for insurance purposes, please. Okay, but yeah, I'm happy for you to take one that side through the gap. Please don't go over the thing, but I am happy for that. Okay.
Coming from here, right?
Just lurking in the corner.
My tour's going to be better than that one anyway, so. I've got ecstasy, he hasn't. Right, Cathedral, as you all know about this, one of the 4 bogies stripped down, as I was saying, just for frames on their own. From the 66, 60 bogey here. Alternator, been removed. Let's go away for overall, class 60. Class 60 engine block, this is the one I was telling about, it's come out of 60007. This is now the one that they've just removed the crank out of it. Crank's just gone back, just about to build it back up for the go back in 63. I am very cautious of time because if you do not want to miss the reveal. So by all means take, if you want a couple of minutes, but we've got a good walk to go over to the paint shop yet, so I suggest we walk back there and get back because you do not want to miss this reveal. Okay, so if we could just stick to the left hand side please everybody. This is our parts distribution centre. So not only do we deliver parts here for Toton, this is throughout the whole of the UK, it also provides parts for France, Germany and Poland. Not, when I say Germany, that's just in case they haven't, but we do distribute Poland and France here as well. So it's our central system. We're very fortunate with being there, obviously we're the biggest depot anyway, but we can just nip over. The likes of Crew, they have to wait for it to come over. Obviously we have what we call a milk run every day that goes over to take parts, but we're fortunate we can just nip over and get something if required. One of our trains pulls, takes cars that are made in Derby, go to Europe by that train, and then cars that are made in Europe that are need for the UK, they bring them back. Yeah. So, how are we doing? This is Wayne Buckley, so he, as one of his jobs, he manages a paint shop and has done for a long time. All that paint work that you've just seen, that excellent work, it's Wayne's the manager of all this, so it's him that's sort of in charge of it all. But Wayne's going to give you a bit of a quick talk because we're going to get back to the reveal. So okay, yeah, 5 minutes basically. Yeah. Shout any questions out, gents, if you want to follow me around.
Which one is it?
So this is 6062. This was same as Pioneer. We're on the nameplates of it, and it's going into a special livery. We've probably got another 2 weeks worth of work left on this one. So what you're looking at now is the preparation area. It's got a fully integrated extraction system. So if you look on the pillars here, we have a vacuum pipe, and up the inside of the vacuum pipe we have an air supply. So although the guys are sanding, it feeds the air supply to the sander, it's sucking all the dust etc. away. Goes into the integrated system behind you across there. So although we are at a sweep up, it is fairly clean in here for a preparation area. Loco wise, for us to do a loco, what you see behind you, 143, we've probably got 12 shifts worth of work on that. So we're turning one out every 10 days. We tend to do the welding and the heavy fabrication work in the workshop before we get to here, so there's no welding in here. Then we'll drag it across. Once we're in here, so what we tend to do is bring the locos right the way through to one outside. We'll prep this one. That goes into the spray booth, and we drag the next one in, so we're working multiple vehicles. That helps us with the sort of time frame while the paint's drying, we can drop back to the next loco. We tend to run 3 to 4 guys on a shift, so we run days and nights, and we schedule the work so the drying time for the filler, the stopper and the paint is when we're not here, just to sort of maximise the facility. What you see on the wall there is the drawing for the next loco coming in. So it's a XEWS livery. We sort of standardised these drawings, so whatever loco that you're looking at, whatever class of loco, what I've tried to do is silhouette it. So we've got the grey roof and the band, and we try and get the cut, so at the distance, whatever class of loco, they all look fairly similar. The reason we are so far behind is that we've been doing a lot of third-party work. So we did a lot of the Virgin Cross Countries or the Royal Mails. Anything that's not a DB loco tends to come to Toton, which has put us a little bit behind with the EWS ones. But we are picking the worst ones off to get them painted. Paint wise, so we spend probably about 4 days in terms of the heavy prepping in here, and then we're into the spray booth for 3 to 4 days depending on the livery. We have a system in place, so it's not just putting the paint on, we are looking at how much paint goes on it. So we've got alcometer, so we can look at the film build of it. So each coat of paint goes on, whether it's the primer, the undercoat, the top coat, we can see exactly what's going on it. We look at temperature, humidity in terms of when we're applying it. We look at the gloss levels of it, so at the end of it we can see pretty much how shiny it is. We look at the cross-hatch adhesion, so how mechanically the paint stuck to each other, and also in terms of the chemical adhesion, so if we're putting wet on wet systems we can see how it's bound together on it. So we've got a sort of complete warranty and process build of each individual loco. So that's part and parcel of it. We'll record everything in terms of batch numbers, the dates, who's put it on, the temperature, the humidity, so the whole package goes together in terms of the sort of warranty on that as well. Right, I'll let you brush that so I can walk through. But we'll walk through the mixing room. So all the mess is made in here. 62. Yeah. Yeah, step on that threshold, yeah. Yeah, so this is the mixing room. Baking booth, so this is all behind the scenes, what you can see in terms of the extraction system and baking booth. And then this is another threshold set, Jensen here. All the doors open outwards with thresholds, you know, if you need to get out quick.
Yeah.
That's the way you go, yeah. 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 It's a bit of a giveaway. You're going to see it in a minute, aren't you? Yeah.
Shall I start heading back into the
Yeah.
paint arena, because obviously the unveiling will be on the 30th.
Yeah. So fully integrated baking booth. So we've got an extraction system. We don't run any locos in here. Warmans either side of it. They're air operated, up, down, in, out. So once the guy's in here, he's plugged in with his breathing air. Plugged into breathing air. In the mixing room, one guy in there mixing, 2 guys in here. He feeds them all the paint, and then we keep the wet line going. Probably takes us about 4 hours to paint the loco, but about 84 hours to prep it.
Is that 2 coats then?
Depends what system you're putting on it.
Okay, right, so thanks for joining me here at the wheel lathe with Toton. As I mentioned before, the Queen's, Her Majesty's Queen's Platinum Jubilee locomotive is now finished. I think it finished literally yesterday to be painted, and again it was designed here and painted here in Toton. A fantastic crew. And the first idea that you came up with was our driver, Anna Kukowski, who will be shunting the locomotive out for us today. So, as I said, this is not an unveiling. It's basically, you know, a sneak preview because it's just finishing and coming out to the workshop today. So, let's welcome the Her Majesty's Queen's Platinum Jubilee locomotive out with a nice applause, shall we? open the barriers shortly so that you can come and see it up close as well. So we'll just do a photo shoot with the driver and then we'll open the barriers.
We're open and on it.
What's that? Is it the people who don't let in here?
Don't trust these two people.
Of course not. No, I'll stand.
John, do you want the whole local one or
Oh,
just...
no, just me and Catherine, please, will do. Thank you very much.
Smile. Come on, John.
I'm trying, the best I can do.
Stop being grumpy.
Done.
Redoing these wagons to make them so the ballast can flick up into them, and so we've kind of redesigned them a bit and refurbished them. You see the guys, see? They usually hang out outside. Yeah, you can see they hang outside, everyone beeps.
Awesome.
You don't see the guys, and that's all they do all day. Drive them on, drive them off.
That's mental, isn't it?
And you see they hang out, and I said, oh, surely that's a safety issue, but that is industry practice.
All right.